Hi guys, it's Dee. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and a good new year, and I hope everyone's stepping into 2023 with a clear head and to make this year a better year than last year was, because I think the last couple of years have been hard for everybody. So I'm talking with a bit of a lisp. The only reason I'm talking with a lisp is because I've got teeth whitening strips on. Um, and obviously they're making me talk like this. Yeah. I also got my hair done the other day. Got extensions put in, and also got my hair cut and thinned. So yeah, my hair just feels a lot lighter, a lot softer. It's not as heavy. Um, Today's the first day I washed the extensions before I got them in, and I thought I wasn't sure how they would be once they dried. Obviously, it's human hair that I've got in. It's human hair, but I wasn't sure because I was like, oh god, how's it going to look when my natural hair dries? My natural hair will be frizzy, and the extensions might be poker straight, and it might look a bit weird. But surprisingly, my actual real hair is blending in with the extensions, which obviously is good. That's the signs that it's been done properly. But it's not. It's not like it doesn't. You can't tell I'm wearing them because my own hair's just naturally blending in, which is good. Obviously, these wee wispy bits at the front are a bit curly, but that's just, to be honest, that's sweat because I've just hoovered. But all in all, yeah, I'm really happy with them. And this is it, like frizzy. My real hair's, and I can't even find where my real hair is anymore. I'm like, where's my real hair? I don't know. Anyway, enough about my hair. So I wanted to talk about Harry. Well, not Harry and Meghan, just Harry, and this new book that Harry's got coming out called Spare. If you have been on the internet or watched the news, you've seen a couple of the news channels. Guys, I'm going to put my glasses on because my eyes are sore. I think like the ring light and the lighting might reflect in the glasses, but like I'm trying my best to like not, and this list, but like god, like how glamorous. But I have to put them on because my eyes are straining. Makes me feel more serious as well. So yeah, so he's got a new book coming out called Spare that details his life. It's basically like a tell-all autobiography. And obviously this book has been explosive for many reasons. We're going to touch on it in this video. I've got a few notes of pieces from the book that I want to talk about. I don't think, as of yet, I don't think the book's been published over here yet. I think for some reason journalists in the papers got a hold of it before it was released. I think it was released in Europe and Spain, and then I think that's how the British tabloids and the American tabloids managed to get hold of what was in the book because it was released over in Europe first. Not sure if it's been released over here yet, but yeah, they managed to, obviously, the papers seen what he wrote, and obviously, as the papers do, they're posting it everywhere before the books even came out. So the first point that was like this big explosive, revelation was that William attacked Harry, and Harry ended up falling on a dog bowl or something and cracking the dog bowl and bruising all his back, cutting all his back. Um, this I was surprised at because that's really deep and really, really personal to be telling not just the British public but the whole world, because obviously our royals are known worldwide. Obviously, it's up to him, it's his story, it's his truth, he can do what he wants. But I'm confused at the I want privacy, blah blah blah, but then writing a tell-all book exposing all your family's business and your own business. It's like a bit of a contradiction. I don't understand it. So the story basically goes that in 2019 at Nottingham Cottage, I can't say it because the scripts, Cottage, where sorry, where Harry and Meghan were staying. Meghan wasn't in at the time, and Harry and William came round to the cottage to see Harry, and supposedly an argument broke out and then a fight. Supposedly, Prince William was saying that Meghan's difficult, she's hard going, basically, and obviously it's turned into a heated argument that resulted in Prince William grabbing Harry by the scruff of the neck, shoving him, and then like shoving him on the floor, which I was surprised. I was like, whoa, like you don't think like Prince William are like being like that, like, but then again they're only human. And then obviously you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know them personally, if they've got tempers or whatever. And Prince Harry has said in his book he used to get this like red mist that came over him, and he said that he's seen that in William. So maybe yeah, both boys do have slight anger issues. But I was really shocked at how heated it got and Prince William doing that. Harry said that William was shouting like hit me back, but Harry didn't. And after it, Harry said he got up, kicked William out, his back was all cut, blah 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 blah. Says not long after that, William came round and apologised and looked regretful and remorseful, and Harry basically just told him to GTF. And obviously, so that was a revelation. That's never heard that before. That's never been spoken about before. Like, I was really like taken aback by that, and I was surprised that Harry like exposing all this. But at the same time, like, I suppose what Harry's trying to say is, you know, you're making me and Meghan seem like these big bad people causing all this trouble, but I'm going to actually tell you what my brother and his wife and what the family also do, because it always seems to be me and Meghan getting all the hate and the scrutiny. You know, like, we're not perfect, but neither are William and Kate. That's the way the media have portrayed it. And I do think that the media are unfair and very critical towards William and Harry compared to Kate and William. Like, Kate and William get a lot of positive, good press, and William and Harry and Meghan get a lot of negative, hateful press over silly, small, stupid things. Like, I mean, Meghan and Harry have got worse press than Prince Andrew. I mean, I can't wrap my head around that, why a paedophile is get less bad press than Harry and Meghan when all they did was move to another country. And they're like the most hated people in Britain. Like, I don't know if they're really worthy of the most hated people in Britain. Like, what did they do that was so bad? Like, I understand, like, some stuff that they say is a bit of a contradiction, and, you know, sometimes you think, oh, just shut up, but, you know, you can't really compare them to the most evil, you know, hated people in Britain. Like, they've not really done it in that bad, and I do think they're unfairly treated. And I think some of the headlines and stories, there's just no need for it. I think it's a shame, and I understand where Harry and Meghan are coming from, and I understand why they're annoyed and their frustration and why they're hurt. But at the same time, you know, I get people's point of view that, you know, you can't say, you know, on one hand you can't turn around and be like, yeah, I want my privacy, like, I want to keep everything private, blah blah blah, but then you want to write a tell-all book and do Oprah Winfrey. Like, I think it's the contradictions that people are like, right, come on, you can't do one thing and then turn around and do another, or you're saying one thing and then doing the complete opposite. Like, if you're going to say you're going to do something, then do it, make it make sense. I think that's what people mean, but a lot of the hate they get is just like, it's unnecessary, and a lot of it is quite racist or has racist undertones, and there's just no place or need for that in this day and age or society. Ever, there was no need for it ever. But yeah, so a fight broke out with him and William in the cottage. The other thing that was said was Meghan and Kate, the reason that they got on bad footing was because Kate thought that Meghan wanted to use her contacts in fashion or something. But Meghan had her own, but I'm like, wait a minute. This is such small, stupid, silly stuff that these are basically arguing about and falling out about. Like, I had in my head it would be something big, something serious, something like more, you know, deep. And I'm like, over, like, who's going to make your dresses for you? Like, that's a bit silly and a bit narcissistic. And it's a bit stuck up and a bit selfish on Kate's part to be like, I don't want her to have the contacts that I have. Like, that's a bit kind of, that is a bit stuck up. Like, even if Meghan was asking Kate for a hand for some British designers and British, you know, designer fashion contacts, like, what's wrong with that? Like, there's enough dresses to go about. Like, that is quite selfish of Kate, and I do think it's a bit childish and a bit petty for Kate to get upset and angry at Meghan about that. That's just my opinion. And the other thing that supposedly Meghan and Kate that made, you know, both sides feel uncomfortable was over a lip gloss. Meghan, they were at that interview thing they done a couple of years back, where they were on the stage talking about the charity the charity Better Together. Supposedly before they went on, Meghan had no lip gloss, so she asked Kate, "Can I please use a bit of your lip gloss?" And Kate was like, looked very shocked and very stunned that Meghan had asked, and then very angrily gave Meghan the lip gloss. And I'm like, right, that's another thing Kate's been a bit petty about. Like, I understand some people, you know, don't want to share the lip gloss, but it does say that Meghan just used her fingers, didn't use the tipper that ain't on her lips. And supposedly the reason for this was, in Britain we don't do that. That's not true at all. I don't know how many bathrooms are my friends, and I've been like, "Have you get any lipstick? Have you get any lip gloss? Any mascara?" Like, yeah, we do that. Britons do that. So I don't think that was a big deal either. And yet again, I'm like, I think Kate was being a bit petty. Like, just give the girl some bloody lip gloss. Come on to God, you're like a princess. You can buy more. I'm sure you get a spare bottle of lip gloss kicking about that you can use. Like, it's just so small and minuscule and petty. So there was that. There was also supposedly something to do with the Meghan had said to Kate, you know, it was something to do with the dress fitting. And Kate phoned Meghan, and Kate had forgot something, and Meghan just said, "Oh, you probably get baby brain." And Kate took that, you know, offensively and get very hurt and upset. But I don't think Meghan meant that in like a bad way. I think like that is like, you know, you say to somebody, "Oh, you're forgetting stuff. You've got baby brain." Like, I've heard that said before, and it's not meant in an offensive. I'll just kick the ring light. It's not meant in an offensive or, you know, hurtful way, but obviously Kate received it that way. Yet again, I'm like, Kate Middleton's getting really upset about very small things, like a lip gloss, you know, saying she'd baby brain, and what was the first one? Oh, wanting contacts for dresses or something. Like, this stuff is, in the social climate we live in, it's like, Kate, really? Really, girl? Really? Come on. I'm not taking sides and saying I'm on Harry and Meghan's side. I'm not. I'm just saying, in my point of view, that the things that Kate Middleton's getting angry and annoyed at Meghan about are very petty. Are there very small things that could be sorted out with a simple apology? There doesn't need to be a beef because of it. But supposedly, you know, Harry, William, Meghan and Kate all sat down to talk about things that had been happening, and supposedly William was screaming at Meghan, pointing his finger in her face, and Meghan said, "Please get your finger out my face." Supposedly Kate was upset and said, "You know, you don't know me well enough to say I've got baby brain." Like, and I'm just like, Kate, lighten up. Like, you know, that's something that's so uptight. Maybe the aristocracy can't take a bloody joke. I don't know, but I'm like, Kate, like, and Meghan apologised and said, "In America, it's just a saying. I didn't mean it in that way." Blah blah. And Kate was obviously still upset. And I'm just like, somebody give Kate a fucking chill pill or something. Like, she's getting annoyed and pissed off over stupid things like a lip gloss, like that. Like when I read that, and I was like, because Meghan asked Kate, "Can I please use your lip gloss?" Kate was angry and offended, and by that I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'd hate to see what she's offended by if it was something more serious, like how she would react to that. Obviously, you know, it's up to her how she wants to feel about things, but I'm like, I don't think, you know, the things that Meghan has done to you are that deep. She's based, like, they're just not. The other thing was supposedly Princess Charlotte's dress was a bit too big for her, and Kate phoned, and supposedly it was like a couple of days before the wedding, and was like, "We need to get another dress, we need to get something done." And Meghan was like, "You're telling me this like 2 days before the wedding? Like, this is a bit short notice, but okay, I'll try my best." Harry doesn't exactly say what else went on in that phone. Sorry guys, I was cut off. But what I was saying was, I was like, you know, these things aren't that deep. The things that Kate and Meghan are arguing over, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. It's like these are rich, wealthy duchesses, and the biggest, like the big problems you have are lip gloss and a passing comment. I'm like, my God, get real. Like, there's bigger issues and bigger problems in the world than like lip gloss, and like there's bigger issues going on in the world that the paper and the press could be reporting on or helping, but instead they're choosing this stupid two rich people arguing. Like, I wish that was the only worries I had, honestly, God. Like, I'm not saying because, you know, they're wealthy and they're in positions of power that they can't have feelings or have issues. Yeah, of course they can, but to broadcast it to us and want sympathy from us, the general public, no, no. But that's just my opinion. And the other thing was, Harry said he killed 15 jihadists when he was in the army, which I was like, oh, like biting my nails. I was like, that's a bit too much information, and like he's putting himself in a dangerous situation, especially, you know, putting that out there. And the army, like, and I think the army or people that worked with him have come out and said it was a very silly thing for him to do, and a very silly thing for him to say, you know, confidentiality and all that. And I'm thinking, Harry, you know, you talk about wanting your family to feel safe and etc. etc. But then you're sitting voicing that when you were in the army you killed 15 jihadis. Like, that, if that doesn't scream like putting yourself in danger, I don't know what does, because now you've got jihadist groups now, you know, threatening to do things to Harry and stuff like that. So he's put himself in a really bad situation. He also said that with Prince Philip's funeral, when him and William went back to Windsor after the funeral, that they also got into an argument and that they were shouting at each other across the table, and supposedly Prince Charles, you know, was mostly taking William's side, and supposedly Charles said to William and Harry, please don't make my last few years a misery. To me it sounds as if it's William and Harry that are arguing. Like, I know there was some things about Charles, but in this book Spare, he mainly talks about him and William, and it seems as if it's they two that are at loggerheads. I don't know if it's rivalry, my God, I can't say that word, or jealousy, or whatever it may be. Sorry guys, I got cut off again. So what I was saying was, the other thing in his book was, he said that, oh, what was it? Oh, it's gone out my head now. Oh aye, the tiara. He said that Meghan was originally going to wear a tiara belonging to Princess Diana that's from the Waleses, the Spencers, which is Princess Diana's side. And supposedly the Queen had said to Harry, well, why don't you come over and look at tiaras, and Meghan can have one of the tiaras from my collection. So Harry was like, right, okay. So by the way, these are wee spot patches I've got on as well. It's self-care night. So Harry and Meghan went over to Buckingham Palace. They went into the Queen's private dressing room, and there was like a row of tiaras, and also a jeweller to obviously explain the history behind the tiaras. Meghan had picked two that she liked. The Queen said, yeah, of course you can have those ones, blah blah. The Queen had said to Meghan, you should try the tiara on with your dress to see how it looks. And Meghan's like, yeah, that's like great idea. So when Meghan was going to her dress fitting, she supposedly asked for the tiara, and the Queen's dresser, Angela Kelly, who's the Queen's friend, confidant, and has been the Queen's dresser for over 30 years, it was her that Prince Harry had to like speak to. And supposedly she was being a bit weird, like, you know, you can't take the tiara out of Buckingham Palace, it'd have to be guards and police or whatever, blah blah. Harry was like, yeah, but my granny said it was okay, blah blah, and the Queen's dresser was supposedly like not having any of it. Eventually she was like, the Queen's dresser was like, right, okay, you can take the tiara, but according to Harry, you know, the Queen's dresser looked visibly annoyed. And he did say that in the Oprah interview, that even though the Queen's the Queen, she's got a group of people around her that advise her and stuff. You know, so that's supposedly what happened with the tiara. But again, small miniature stuff that like get a grip and get over it. But hey ho, you know, like they're rich. Like I'm sure you can make up over a cup of tea. Like nothing's that deep and that serious. Well, the things that you are falling out about aren't. But each to their own. So yeah, like obviously the book's still to be released, and I'm sure there'll be more bombshells in it. But these are the things that Harry spoke about that I wanted to touch on. Oh, he also said that he lost his virginity to a 40-year-old woman when he was 17 behind a pub, and he said that the woman treated him like a young stallion. And after it, she slapped his bum and walked away. I'm like, I wonder who this 40-year-old woman was. Harry didn't say who the 40-year-old woman was. But yeah, I'm intrigued to know. I wonder who that was. Obviously, he was only 17 at the time, and I'm like, losing your virginity in the field behind a pub. It's not very princely of you. But then again, it just shows like yeah, they're rich, whatever, but they are just like us, and it's like we're paying for these people that are. I'm not even going to get into that. That's a whole story for another time. But yeah, I'm like, look at Harry getting it on. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about and touch on. But well, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you're going to buy his book. If you know what you think about it. What are your thoughts? I'm probably going to buy the book when it comes out. It seems like an interesting read, and I just kind of want to be nosy. So yeah, so I'll be buying it. But yeah, I hope everyone has had a good weekend and has a good week. Mwah, stay gorgeous.